All right, so what's going on, guys? So there's a lot of things going on right now in the world, and specifically as it relates to the fruits of presidents. And in honor of President's Day, I want to talk a little bit about what's going on because a lot of people are quite antsy. A lot of people are a little bit confused, and many have asked me my thoughts on recent activities from every area, from Russia, Ukraine to Canada, and to the US. And so I want to touch a little bit on some of the developments. And so you can clearly tell in this hour that the fruits of the presidents that are supporting good and righteous things are being shown. But the problem here is that there's a lot of deception, misinformation, smoke and mirrors, and many things that are clouding the judgment of how people need to perceive that. Because I've talked about how the media, they love to take certain stories, twist it, or outright just tell you lies. And so that's why in this hour, it requires a lot of discernment, a lot of even research. And a lot of it is out there, guys, for you to be able to search yourself and to be able to understand what people have actually said. And so I've talked about this before. Recently, Putin, president of Russia, obviously said a speech, and so many people, they don't even see the speech or see a transcript of the speech or a translation to be able to understand what he's saying. And instead, they're going by somebody's opinion of what they perceive is the messaging behind the speech, and then running with it and saying that, oh, it's this is what it is, and other things, right? And so people are not seeing the actual reporting, even objectively, of what's going on. And so that's why there's a lot of a need right now for you to be very critical, very objective, open-minded, and not to be able to put your preconceived notions, your previous thoughts, other people's quote unquote consensus of what people are thinking. And there's a lot of this going on right now. There's a lot of people demonizing, marginalizing, looking at certain groups and people and saying, oh no, it's this or it's that. Oh, they are radical this, or it's supposed to be this way or that way. As opposed to doing your own research and looking at it objectively and then asking the Lord, how is it that I should be able to receive this and interpret this? And what is it that is actually the truth? If as much as I can, with the information given to me, be able to research it, what is it that's the truth? And so a lot of people are, again, basing their conclusions and their opinions on what my friend said or what he or she said, based on telephone charades and just like looking at a couple of articles thinking they know what's up. And so one of the clear fruits that you can see from many of these presidents is, first, Trump, right? He has released Truth Social. He's released it, or rather it's being unleashed slowly, but a lot of people right now can access it, and time will tell. But right now, based on what's being done in media, the censorship, Twitter, Facebook, many people, and I've been in that camp of being censored, right? Videos being taken down on YouTube. Time will tell who's going to advocate for free speech versus the tyranny and the messaging and the ability to be able to take people offline and saying, no, this is not what you should be able to say. This alternatively is what you're supposed to say. And so this is the kind of stuff that we'll see. And so clearly you can see this fruit from what's going on there. Another fruit is Trudeau. You can see that he's enacting emergency powers. He's using a lot of dictator-like methods to be able to control and quell this trucker convoy movement, as opposed to getting at the table, sitting at the table and peacefully negotiating. You can see the fruit, and you can see the uprising that the Canadian people are having towards this dictatorship. You don't have to be able to skew, the messaging or say something different. You can clearly see what's going on in Canada and attribute it to the way that political conduct, leadership, decisions, and all these different things are being done, especially with the police brutality and other things that are going on. And again, do some research for yourself. Don't look at some articles and think that you know what's up, right? And then you can see Putin, right? Putin, everybody's saying, oh, he's going to invade. I've said before, I believe in the spirit that the Lord showed me, that in the peace of my heart, that he's not going to invade Ukraine. He's not going to go take hundreds of thousands of forces and go all the way across Ukraine and take it over. A lot of the Biden administration saying different things, a lot of the puppet governments and the presidencies in Ukraine, Zelensky and all those guys saying other things, right? And so again, things are being exposed now. A lot of people that are being controlled by bigger hands, bigger movements, trying to control the messaging and all these different things. And then Putin's sitting there in some sense toying with these guys in the sense that, tell us, when are we going to invade Ukraine? Tell us so I can go take a vacation when it's in that off season, right? As a joke, one of the foreign ministers saying that. And today, if you saw the speech, or if you at least saw some transcripts or read about it, you can see that he has declared the independence of the two sovereign states in eastern Ukraine, right? And supporting and backing what is the freedom and the independence against what the Ukraine dictatorship and those things are doing. And so again, it's not as simple as saying and looking at something and saying, oh, like it's a war. He's backing, these guys and doing illegal things or whatever. There's a lot there in the grassroots, looking at people, looking at the government, looking at different things and drawing conclusions based on actual facts. And so right now we're in a time where people are looking at something from the outside. Somebody's saying, oh, it's bad. He's, backing separatists and all these different things, and it looks bad and whatever it is. But again, you can say that about anything, right? In the sense of the perspective and the context that you got to have. Even in the Bible, people looked at the Israelites and said, these guys are utterly evil by taking over the promised land and killing all these different groups, and Joshua and these guys taking over, right? And so even in that context, you can look at something from an outside perspective and say, these Israelites are so bad. But really, in the eyes of God, that was the rightful land, and he was able to allow them to take it over. And so again, I'm not here to say that there's this God-backed, invasion or whatever it is, but you have to be able to see it from a perspective of good versus evil and what's actually going on behind the scenes. And so I believe a lot of things will come out, a lot of things will be prepared. But even Putin, right, is saying that why is the U.S. demonizing? Why is it making Russia look like the enemy when there is a movement of independence, of freedom, of being for the people that's being at stake here? And so that's what happened a lot with the Crimea situation, a lot with the two nation states right now that are happening. I don't remember the names off the top of my head, but you can Google it, right? And so a lot of asking questions of what's going on with NATO and pushing these things. People look at the UN and NATO and all these different groups seemingly as a good way. And again, I'm not going to touch on the globalists and deep state or cabal or whatever you want to call it, but there's a big movement right now, right? And so there's a lot of things going on that requires very careful discernment in the spirit. And so right now, if you're looking at somebody like Biden saying, pointing fingers, he's going to invade or he's bad, don't trust him and blah, blah, blah. And you got to see the fruit behind it, right? And so obviously what Biden said, what's even being exposed right now, and more is to come in terms of justice, but it's not true. It hasn't come to pass in terms of Wednesday, Ukraine and Russia invading and things like that. So you're seeing right now the fruit of many presidents. And my point here isn't to believe what I'm saying or have this opinion or that opinion. But right now, there's a careful distinction and a careful desire or a careful need for discernment and to be able to be in the spirit, to be able to discern what's going on. And you clearly will see more and more certain presidents, certain people groups, certain things come to light, and where people stand with regards to their desire for good versus evil and other things. You'll see it from many presidents, many people, and the fruits of their labor are coming to light. And so you're seeing a lot of that. And so again, happy President's Day for those that are in the U.S. That's what it is right now. And for those celebrating it, and for those that are not aware, for international countries. But again, I'm saying this because from the perspective of a Christian, as a believer, and those that are needing to be able to have extra caution, to have the right mentality when you're praying and giving out information. Don't just be taking things from what you think you know of your 2 or 3 facts and putting together your conclusion and thinking this is the right thing. But there's other things going on behind the scenes, as well as how things are being portrayed. Look at the actual speeches of what people say. Look at the actual fruit based on what deeper research you have, not according to the opinion or the columnist, the opinion column of somebody or whatever it is, or even just the mainstream news, which I've talked about before as being this false prophet, right, of the modern day. A lot of people saying things, but things being just propaganda in modern day times. So again, guys, a lot is going on, a lot of discernment required, more to come, guys, but good things are happening. A lot of things, when you look at it, you would think it's bad or it's not good, but it's good because it's being exposed. A lot of people are waking up and they're doing their own research as opposed to being told what to do. So God bless you guys. It's a good season, a good time right now, and a lot more is coming. So stay tuned for that. God bless, and I'll talk to you guys very soon.